In a recent interview, Vincent D'Onofrio stated that the Kingpin we saw in Hawkeye was the same version from Netflix's Daredevil show, although he was bigger, stronger, could take more damage, and following the blip had lost almost all of his power. However, one thing that doesn't make too much sense, and Armin over at the Comic Book Cast 2 explained perfectly, is that why does Kate Bishop not know who the Kingpin is? If he's the same version from Daredevil who was all over the news and was protected by the government, why would Kate Bishop not know who he was? Following the end of Daredevil Season 3, it would have only been about 2016 to 2018, so at the latest, right before the snap, meaning that the Kingpin should have been at the peak of his popularity around the time that Kate Bishop was 17. It's also interesting that as they were teasing him throughout the episodes, everything connected to him was called Fat Man, and of course, this was just an attempt at misdirection for the audience, but in my opinion, going from the Kingpin of Crime to Fat Man, even after the blip, makes the character look like a loser. Let's say that he got dusted and someone new took over the Kingpin mantle. The Kingpin from the Netflix show wouldn't hide with the Tracksuit Mafia and call himself Fat Man. He would have made a huge announcement that he's back and more powerful than ever, teach anyone who defected to the new Kingpin a lesson and take his power back by force. Another thing is that in the Netflix show, Kingpin decapitated Anatoly Ranskahov for embarrassing him on a date with Vanessa. So why would he give Eleanor Bishop a minute to think about leaving? Why would he not kill Maya immediately for betraying him, even if she was like a daughter to him? Although D'Onofrio and others have said it's the same version, the differences are in my opinion way too big. Next, take this with a grain of salt given the sources, but according to Fandomwire, who were one of the first sources to say that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire would return in Spider-Man No Way Home, stated around the same time, almost a year ago at this point, that Tobey Maguire would also return as Spider-Man in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And seeing as both web slingers actually return in Spider-Man No Way Home, it's now more possible than ever to see Tobey in Doctor Strange 2 as well. Especially since it's heavily rumored that Sir Patrick Stewart's Professor X and now Ioan Gruffudd's Mr. Fantastic will appear in the movie as part of the Multiversal Illuminati. It's also being reported by Giant Freakin Robot, but again, take this with a grain of salt, that Spider-Man 4 starring Tobey Maguire is already in development over at Sony following No Way Home's success. Moving on, according to the Illuminerdi, the Werewolf by Night Halloween special will star Gael Garcia Bernal as Jack Russell, the original Werewolf by Night in the comics, and that we could possibly even see his niece, Vampire by Night, appear in the show. Vampire by Night was actually a werewolf like Jack, but she was bitten by a vampire, changing their curse. During the day she's a human like Jack, and she transforms into a wolf on full moons, also like Jack. The only difference is that every night, as long as there isn't a full moon, she transforms into a vampire. And lastly, Vince Bishop tweeted, "Just recently finished working on Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. Take my word for it, they've seriously upped their game this time. Should be an absolute blast." But let me know what you guys think about all this. What did you think of the Kingpin we saw in Hawkeye? Would you like to see Tobey in Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man 4? And are you excited for Captain Marvel 2, or are you still skeptical? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you will never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.